Guys, we've gone from super bubbly, super talkative, yapping the whole video in part one, and then we went from a little bit more chill, listening to music, and backtesting in part two. And now part three, I think I'm just going to be silent. I'm just going to be backtesting, and I'm listening to mindset content. I'm listening to Yurimi's mindset video for the start, and then what are we going to listen to afterwards? I'm just gonna finish this video and then we'll go back and pick another one. But I'm watching the only motivational trading video I ever need to watch while I backtest.
This is a ridiculous month for me. Okay? Anyone who's shown me these numbers, they're probably, put a question mark around it. And for me, if you're trying to put a question mark around me, I'll show you straight up. Clear as day. Same account right here. IC Markets live account. Clear as day. See? No screenshot nonsense here. This is difficult, guys. But you can do it. You are capable. Guys, do you know how complex the human brain is? You have to just repeat the cycle. If you've sat down for exams before, you've been given a revision booklet, and you've taken a look at a certain equation or a certain, methodology or a certain question that you had to memorize because this is going to come up in my exam. What made you pass that exam? What made you know the answer to that question is the fact that you repeated the cycle so many times over and over and over and over again, which is why it became easier for you later on. Guys, your brain is complex. Don't tell yourself, I'm stupid, I can't do this. Don't tell yourself, I don't have the patience, I don't have the resilience. Fix up then. The reality is fix up. Become a patient person. Work on your patience. Work on your grit. Work on you not being a scared person. Work on you not being a shook one. Stop being scared. Put that lot size. Why? Because you're here to get paid with correct risk management. That's what you're here for. Stop being scared. Go and learn. Place a mirror in front of yourself and say, bro, you know what? This has been going on for way too long. I'm just not a good trader. Let me finally submit to a mentor. Let me finally get on them Zoom calls. Let me actually wake up from my London session. I'm here snoring. I'm drooling. There's spit coming out my mouth. And I'm saying, why am I not profitable? You love sleep more than you love success. I always give this example. If I know every single Sunday I have to go to the fish market to get the best fish in the morning, the best fish are available in the morning, and now I've missed the morning and I go to this fish market in the afternoon, what type of fish will be left for the ones that nobody wanted in the morning? If I want to go to a fruit market, pound the boat in London, right? The best ones go in the morning. If I want to go there towards the end of the day, what type of bananas am I going to get? What type of strawberries am I going to get? Maybe the ones that look like they have a little bit of a fungus on them. I'll get the ones that aren't as good as the fresh ones that came in the morning. So what makes you think you are going to be profitable if you can't even respect the market opening? You can't respect the kill zones that you're trading. You can't respect the correct time window to trade. You're oversleeping, and you're over leveraging, and you're over trading, and you're just in an emotional rut because you're not profitable. You're just not a serious guy. You're just not a serious girl. You're just not a serious individual. And that's the bottom line truth. Fix up, get real, and understand this is a skill that is going to what? That is going to pay you for the rest of your life. You're not going to make the same money every single month. Absolutely not. There might be times where you blow your funded account. But what is the purpose? The purpose is to retrieve as much funds as you possibly can, to then put that money aside and invest it. So now you don't trade out of desperation. Use trading as a money-making machine to invest in projects. Because when you see it like that, you're not now thinking, oh, this has replaced my 9 to 5. No, use trading as a money-making machine to invest in other projects. So now, let's say after a year and a half of trading, you look back and you think, damn, so I've got 7 figures just in investments. Mountains were made from pebbles. Lay those foundations, lay those investments, even if they're small amounts. So you only got 3K payout, invest that. You only got 10K, invest that. 12, 15, 30K, invest that. Because later on, you're not going to realize the financial empire that you built for yourself and your family. You're not going to realize that. Because let me tell you something, putting up a mill up front is going to be quite a difficult situation for you. Putting up 600K, 500K, 300K up front is going to be quite a difficult situation for you. But But when you've taken the approach of slow and gradual, eventually you are left with a mountain because you laid your pebbles. So that's the advice I want to leave traders with. I don't even want to do an outro, but if you've been able to take any benefit from this, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100K. Take care. Peace.
Oh, my darling is crying. She's having a nightmare. He's got a bunch of videos in the end of him climbing up.
Plus the challenge, yo.
It's really inspiring. That's pretty good. Alright, skipping the Justin Werlin stuff. I wonder what Justin Werlin is doing now after his exposing. People love to see the hero fail. It's the last thing that he posted. Damn. How's he gonna make his comeback? Let's watch this one. I think I've already watched this one.
Changed my life. Like it actually did, right?
This is Trading Changed My Life Forever, full story. Hunk FX. Let me go and let my dog outside. Alright guys, we're watching a cold trades case study, how he hit 6 figures trading at 19.
They say, good things come to those who wait. Turns out, that wait's only 90 seconds.
Uncle Toby's quick
they're using AI.
half price this week at Woolworths.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another case study. Now, it might look like we're in my old apartment, but we're actually in Sebastian's apartment. He just moved here, and bro is up close to 6 figures this year trading. Now, if you want to introduce yourself.
So I've been trading for like a year and a half. I started trading with coal around August. Like, when was it? Like August? No, it was like October.
October of last year. So,
yeah, I was trading options at first, and then I jumped to starting futures. Started by myself, and then I needed some help. Started working with coal. A couple months later, got my first payout, and then the journey pretty much started from there.
yeah, so I want to take a step back and go back to right when you first started trading, and that was trading options. So, kind of where were you in life? This was, you're 19, so this was in high school that you started trading options?
Yeah, like right at the end of high school, yeah.
So how did that go in high school?
So in high school, I actually did a project on on options, and I started. That's when I first started looking into options, and I started trading on my own with my own capital, and I started getting lucky, getting like a couple $1,000 here and there, until I just started blowing my own money. And then I really didn't have a strategy at that point. I was just placing trades based off of like what I saw online or what I saw during the news, and I'd get lucky sometimes and just try to chase that number every time until I blew all my money, and then I had to figure out and do something else.
Yeah, so before you kind of switched to futures, now at the time, were you working or?
Yeah, I was working at Sonic pretty much every day, and yeah, just working with my own money and just funding my account was literally just all my money.
So you were pretty much, run the method, all that. That whole paycheck was going in the options account?
All the whole fucking paycheck.
Damn. Okay, so you lost that, and when was that in options? You said in around August, or was
it was before that? It was in the summer. It was in the summer. That's when I was like losing money, because I remember I went on a trip, and then I lost like my whole account in like Mexico, and I was like, damn, that's cooked. And after that, I just kind of like relaxed and
And that was your senior year of high school. So you were training in high school, or?
Yeah, it was like at the end of high school, and then during the summer, that's when I had to like actually lock in on it because I didn't end up going to college. I was pretty much just working, and I decided to kind of take a year off. That's why I told my parents because I really didn't want to go to college at that time. So I was just gonna figure it out, but I kind of had to really like change something, especially with the options because it was just gambling at that point.
Yeah, so after you blew that money in options, that is when we started to get into futures, correct?
Yeah, I saw like TV trading, and I started trading futures, and then I had like an okay strategy, but I didn't really understand much. I would like go off of someone's checklist. Like I'll see like liquidity sweep, inversion, and then enter, and then I would see some decent trades, but I would never pass any account. So I'd get lucky. I think I passed one account before I started working with Cole, and that account I blew in like one day, and then after that, I like needed some guidance. I needed something.
So you were trading pretty mechanically. I mean, I feel like that's what everyone does off the bat. That's what I was doing off the bat. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, if you guys have seen what I do talk about a lot here, is everyone wants to find some secret strategy. Everyone wants some like secret trick to trading, when in reality, the trick is just putting in effort and learning. You know, the way you trade, when you win, when you lose. Like, that's the biggest thing I really focus on, because in reality, like, all the strategies work. It's just that you need that market experience. But I guess moving forward, okay, so moving forward to around October, that's when you started trading futures. And in the beginning, okay, you blew some accounts, and from there in November, can you kind of run me through what happened November, December of last year?
Okay, so November, it was I had just started working with you, and I remember because in December it was just like bull run, all time highs, and I was just longing and stuff. But I think I passed a couple accounts in November. I mean in December. November I was getting used to like my own type of trading and gaining that confidence with not just being super strict on these specific things need to happen for me to enter the trade. It was more like me trying these things out when entering, and actually getting data from it and learning from other trades. But after that, I mean, before I got to December, I was blowing accounts still because I was over trading really bad. I was being really impatient and just taking too many trades. I thought I needed to take a trade every single day, and it made me blow a lot of accounts.
Now, what do you think that, kind of feeling that you had to trade every single day, where did that come from?
I just wanted to make money. I wanted to pass my account like tomorrow, the next day, the following week.
And yeah, ultimately what happened after those month and a half, 2 months, I remember you did blow through a lot of accounts, but then you actually did end up getting that first payout. Right?
Yeah, in January.
So in January, you got that first payout, and then kind of run me through what happened from there, I guess for the next 2 months.
Yeah, so in January, pretty much I did what Cole told me to do. I did one trade a day. I was on my point of view 250Ks, so they were pretty easy accounts. I pretty much I full passed them in one trade. It was one account, and then I got a payout on that account. It was around like 1,200, and it was pretty simple. It was like 4 trades, and I got the payout, and that's it. And it was every single trade hit, but it took like maybe a week and a half to get that payout. And then after that, I got 3 accounts. I copied those accounts, and I think I got 3 more payouts with that, with my funded features as well.
And now, real quick before, like, my bad to interrupt you, but you got those next 3 payouts. Like, I mean, how are you feeling mentally? Because like it'll kind of go into what happened after.
So the first payout, I felt like, man, I thought I was him, because like not anyone really get the payout or anything. So I thought I was really good at trading. So after that, copy traded, got 3 more payouts, and I really thought I was goated at trading. And then from there, it was just all downhill.
And at that same time, that's kind of when you told your parents about it, or?
Yeah, around that time.
So you told your parents about it, and you were kind of like, what did you tell them?
So I told them, because they knew I wasn't going to school at that time. I took a year off, and I told them that I wanted to trade, full time or whatever, and I showed them that I made money, and then they were kind of happy about it. But every day after I told them, they would ask me how much money I would make, and it kind of messed me up. I was like, "Oh, I didn't make anything today, or I lost money." And then in the back of my head, I would be like, "I need to make this amount of money to like meet their expectations," you know.
So yeah, that's why if you guys have talked about or seen what I talk about in the videos, I will always tell you one of the worst things you can do is tell your parents, tell someone that you trade, because now constantly like that only makes it worse.
Yeah, it made it 10 times worse.
It made it 10 times worse. And
wish you could stop renting? With WA Building Company, you can say goodbye to house rules and hello to
basically, that was around February that you got the two, you got the three payouts. And then kind of what happened in March, because that was,
March was really bad. So in March, Cole, I told him I wanted to size up, I wanted to buy more accounts. So I pretty much bought 150Ks. And you know, those are pretty expensive, $750 per account. And it was pretty much all my money. It was all my working money and all that. I had a decent amount in my bank account, so it wasn't like a really bad idea, but I got those 150s and I was struggling to pass them. I blew a set, and then I blew another set, and then another set. And then Cole told me to, what's it called, buy less accounts? No, not less accounts. He told me to go 50Ks or something.
Yeah, size down, because you were trying to pass them
really fast. Yeah. Really fast, yeah. I was like $4,500 per trade. I was trying to hit that every single day, and I would just full port, and it would not work. And I think there was one day in the middle of I don't remember. It was one day in March, but I sent you a picture. I blew like 5 sets of 150Ks. It was bad. Yeah. It was like 3-4 grand that day, and it was around 5 sets. I don't know exactly how much, but I remember I looked at my bank account. I'm like, damn, that's just like pages of loan accounts, and it was just me trying to rush getting into that funded part, and then yeah.
How did you? Okay, so when you got down to that point, what were you feeling like mentally? Like, what did you, because I feel like you don't really hit the realization until you do kind of rinse yourself, and then you just have like you said, you're looking and you're like, damn, bro, like,
yeah,
I really did this, because like when you're in your own head, like especially when you're just like trading the accounts and like in your own head, and I know that's what you're thinking, like, oh, I just gotta get these passed, like, oh, I blew them, it's fine, let me get another one, I'll get past another one, and then when you finally get your wake up call, you're like, dude, like, what am I doing? So I guess, that's kind of what happened there. If you could, kind of go through that. When you got to that point, you blew those 5. What did you kind of tell yourself? What were you thinking?
Honestly, I crashed out that day. I was like really mad all day. I mean, I was like, I pushed home my wall that day because I really crashed out, because it was like all my money that I made from my payouts that I got, and I just blew it all in one day and more of it, and I just felt really dumb because I was just blowing these accounts for like literally no reason. It was just me buying, resetting, blowing. Just the same thing over and over. I like wasn't making any single changes or anything. So it put me in a really bad mental state, because after that, even when I started trading again, on like less accounts, I was like scared to enter or like put size on or anything.
And now before we get into kind of when you took the break and you came back, now at this time, did you end up telling your parents that? I'm guessing you probably didn't.
No, I did not.
So yeah, you definitely kept that. But were they like nagging you?
Yeah, they were pretty much asking me like how was it going and how it's going. So I just told them, I was like, you need to just give me time. Like I don't want to stop talking about this. It takes a while.
I did the same thing with my parents, because I made the worst mistake. Like right when I started paper trading, I told them, and like they would, obviously be asking me every day, and it got to the point where I told them like, you have to stop, because it was making it about 10 times harder.
Yeah.
And in March, I remember you texted me, and you kind of went through that, and you're like, dude, I'm taking a break. Like I have to take a break from trading. I'm going to take a couple months off. And that's what you ended up doing. You took a couple months off, and you were working at the time, right?
Yeah, I was still working.
So you were working at the time, and you took a couple months off. So how long did you end up taking? Was it like 1 or 2 months?
It was 2 months. Yeah.
2 months. What were you kind of doing during those 2 months? I actually want to really focus on that because I do kind of emphasize breaks to people. I want you to,
So honestly, the first like week after I took a break. I kind of was still looking at the charts a little bit, but I kind of like thought to myself that like, what was the point of this break? Was to really completely remove the attachment that I had to trading, and I literally just completely forgot about it. I told myself that I need to like not even think about it. I was stressing over it at night. I would not even be able to go to sleep because I'm just thinking about how am I gonna make my profits back and how am I gonna make this work? Because I would always tell myself that like I know it's gonna work, but like I need to do something about it, But after those couple weeks of me like stressing over it, I eventually like just stopped thinking about trading. Obviously, I would still have some thoughts in my head like I know what I'm gonna get back, but I kind of got my money up. I saved money. I didn't want to like go back into trading and just like not have that much money in my bank account at least to invest.
Took a little break.
But once I got back, it was just I decided to come back once I had like that amount of money that was just chilling. I didn't have to like.
You had like a mental buffer. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna rinse myself.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was just taking a complete break, just working, trying to enjoy my life. Because trading's not really your whole life.
And that's the biggest thing. It's a very small part of your life. The second it starts consuming your life, that's why the bigger thing is less is more. Like less really is more in trading. And you took that 2 month break and kind of run me through it. When you hop back into trading, what did you do? Did you have
break
a
even,
mindset?
profit,
How did you hop back?
break even.
The little accounts, or what did you do?
And so honestly, on the first week I got
profitable
back,
overall, but risk management isn't correct.
I blew a couple accounts,
so it's not really profit.
Overtraded. I was like,
let's see, because 50% win rate doesn't mean that it's a bad strat, because I've seen it work. But when I'm using it, when I'm trading it with more discretion.
It was like a couple $100. I overtraded it, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna go buy 10 more accounts as well. Right, so I kind of learned my lesson on not rinsing myself in a day or whatever. But after that, I bought some accounts again, and I just slowly started trading, one, maybe 2 trades in a day, and then after that, I was kind of rusty because I took 2 months. I haven't seen price action in 2 months. I was backtesting still once I got back, so I was just trying to get used to trading again, seeing how much I can risk, seeing what I'm comfortable taking. And the first month I didn't really make anything, or the second month, but it was still like I was hitting solid trades, low size. And then once I started sizing up,
we kind of got the breakage structure already. I just didn't take it.
That's kind of, you would say, the first 2 months is when.
Let me go back here and enter that because I'm trying to be mechanical, guys. I know you guys probably like that's cheating, but I'm trying to be mechanical.
And during those 2 months, I don't know, you weren't overtrading, right? You weren't overtrading, and were you just taking, you're trading and hopping off to it, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. Like, I would take my trade, break even or loss or anything. I'd just get off the charts and just go work. Because some days I would have to even trade at work, so I didn't really need to be stressing over it at work, especially. So I would take my trade, hop off, and then that's it. I'd be done.
And what do you think that, like, at that time, mentally, like, what change did you tell yourself that kind of had you, able to hop off after that one trade? Was it just like you realized, how bad it can get again, or?
I don't know. I kind of just stopped caring about like.
I just want to finish. I just want to finish this couple of months. Then I might watch some YouTube videos and try and figure more out. But I'm just trying to continue because I know that it works to a degree, but I just want to keep looking. Like I want to keep collecting data because I'm seeing inconsistencies, and I want it to be consistent.
I just stopped thinking about that. I was just like, I just need to take my trade and that's it. Like, it's not like that all day thing. Like, it takes you like 30, 40 minutes to be done for the day and you're done.
Yeah, and following that, that's when you ended up passing the account and you ended up making like 20K in 1 month off of a single account.
Yeah, that was the second month of my profitability pretty much.
And okay, so run me through like what did you really do, I guess, that month? Because I feel like every trader and what I've seen personally and with other traders, you kind of have a breakthrough month where you go from, that's the thing I always say. Trading is it's not really linear. It's exponential, but there's a lot of failures leading up to that exponential point, and it's just all of that time and effort catching up to you.
Yeah.
So when you have that kind of breakthrough month, what do you think? Like, was there a different mindset, or was it just you think the cumulative of taking that one trade and
Yeah. So the first month that I made my first 10K, it was August, and I was copy trading accounts, but I was pretty much sizing really low, and I took 5K payouts that month, and then the following month, after I took those 2 payouts, I blew the accounts because I sized really heavy on one trade. I blew them, so I kind of decided to just trade one account just to see how it was going because I didn't want to spend any more money on funded.
Yeah.
So about 150K, passed it, and then pretty much I was sizing heavy because it was one account, and I would just take one trade, and I got 3K payout on the first one,
Okay.
and then after that I had a 3K balance left, and pretty much I waited like a whole week to take my next trade, and it was literally like I actually risked my whole account on that because I was so confident on that.
Yeah.
And then boom, I made it was like 4K on that trade, and then I took another trade, got me to 10K balance, and I took 5K payout, and after that payout, I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I risked like 2,500. I took 2 trades. I got another 5K payout, and I did that 2 more times.
Yeah. So you pretty much this is kind of where you started lowering your frequency.
That month, I think that was the least amount of trades I ever taken.
So you went from taking one, trade pretty much every single day to now you started realizing, and this I'm sure where you had some data reflection. You're just looking back on, the trades you were just confident in because that's all discretion really is. Seeing the opportunities that are worth bidding on, and that's what you ended up doing. You said you were waiting a week for that trade. You were leveraging on that trade. You were understanding the ROI gain. At the end of the day, you spent $200 for that account.
Yeah,
so like
profit,
$200
break even,
you net return, 20, before your split. So that's close to, what is that? 200? No, 20x, 10x, 100x. But the math is not happening right now. But that's what and that's the opportunity of it. But the amount of failures that led up to that point, and you really then have to do a lot of deep self introspection to see, okay, when am I trading good? When am I not trading good? And moving forward, that's kind of the mentality you've had, up until this point, where now you do trade less, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So actually, the number one thing, well, for me, I don't know if it's for everyone, but the number one thing that really changed my trading was trading the right conditions. Because I would pretty much, even though I was still taking like one trade a day, when there was bad conditions, I would kind of like tell myself like it's okay to take a trade, and I end up taking a trade, and it just doesn't play out because it's like it was chop, and I get stuck in chop. But once I actually started listening to myself, when those bad days, I was like, okay, I don't like what the range looks like right now. I literally just immediately hop off.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in putting on risk when I'm not confident or anything. So yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I always tell people, it's your intuition. Once you get a year into trading, you get, a year and a half, 2 years into trading, your intuition is going to tell you, hey, I shouldn't be trading this day. I've seen myself lose this day. Looking back on some of your data too, you'll know that. But then that second voice in your head is like, well, what if I catch this win?
Exactly.
And that is where people get stuck. And it takes a while to start following it. But,
real hard, yeah.
But once you start following it, you just can't go back.
Yeah.
You just can't go back. And now what your mindset is, and I remember before what you told me too, in the past, you were really telling yourself, I have to make 10K by this day.
Oh yeah.
And now you just focus on just the process, right?
Yeah. So when I was blowing all those accounts, I had this mindset going into every single Monday. I would remember, I was like, I'm gonna pass my accounts on Tuesday. I'm gonna get a 10K payout on Friday.
Oh man.
It was the worst expectations I could put on myself. And from there, I was just chasing it until I had that break. And then now it's just I go on the charts, I'm looking at it, and if I don't like what it looks like, if I'm like, okay, I don't know what we're gonna do, I'll let the market open. And if we start chopping and there's not gonna be any good delivery, I'll just get off the charts. And that's it.
And that's the biggest thing. It's like trading comes down to you recognizing when you do good and recognizing when you don't do good. Because the biggest thing, like, most people can take good trades. Most people can take the winning trades. They just have that.
Alright, guys, my thoughts so far. Look, to have the strategy be mechanical and be like semi break even is definitely not bad because, like everyone says, there's no mechanical strategy that works. So the fact that I'm trading this mechanically and it's got somewhat okay win rate, and somewhat okay risk to reward, like a 66.67% win rate with a 1-to-1, that's profitable no matter what the statistics say because I'm not managing my risk correctly. So yeah, it is obviously interesting that that's got okay statistics. But it's just about adding more rule sets. So yeah, I think it's interesting the statistics so far, but I've still got quite a bit more to trade. April, May, June, July. Yeah, I've got like 3 more months to trade, so I'm gonna continue backtesting that. I'll probably take a break from recording. I've recorded for an hour and a half all of my backtesting, but as you can see, my energy is really low. I'm just like, like I just want to be successful. Can it just automatically come to me right now? But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to continue backtesting, continue putting in the work. I just got to remind myself, like, it's a breakthrough month. Like, every single piece of work, every single backtesting session that I'm doing, it's gonna compound. So I just have to like keep that in mind. And yeah, try and like motivate myself because I have another like 3 hours that I can backtest, so I want to make sure that I'm putting in as much work backtesting as possible. So yeah, yeah, I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.